Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panamá, bella ciudad. Ay, mi Panamá. Bienvenidos a Panamá. 15 August 1519, the beginning of a dream. It is important to know this date because it's the day that we celebrate. Pedro Arias Davila received from the King of España official doctrine for the fealty to be named Panama City, Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panamá, bella ciudad, bella mi Panamá. Bienvenidos a Panamá. A fishing village it was formerly, right upon the coast of the sea. Cathedral tower built up toward the sky. You can hear that bell toll far and wide. At this time within the nation, there was a very small population. Only 100 people or so. First European settlement on Pacific coast. Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panamá, bella ciudad, ay mi Panamá. Bienvenidos a Panamá. The Camino Real it paved the way, and in this isthmus it had to stay all the way to Nombre de Dios. If you go now, you can hear them go. Whoa! Riches came up out of Peru. Many ships and the pirates knew all the pearls.
Do you guys hear us now? No. Welcome. Season 2, Episode 7. Now we've got the sound. Today we're talking about movies made in Panama. This is take 3. Take 3. We finally got the sound figured out. Everything's cool.
That's right.
We're going to take you guys on a voyage behind the scenes of what happens when you film a movie. And we're going to talk about all those amazing movies that were filmed in Panama.
That's right. So you know what? Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're on a fantastic voyage. We've knocked out all the kinks. This is exactly what it's like to work on a movie. You got to take 1, take 2, take 3. Now we got live audio. We've got people tuned in. Let's see. Sound is on. People are listening to us. If you guys know about a movie that was filmed in Panama that we don't mention, make sure you put it in the comments. We're going to talk about it.
Let us know. We're not geniuses.
We're going to talk about only some of the movies that were filmed in Panama, like the biggest blockbusters that you might have heard of.
That's right.
You know, special points of interest, and the ones that we've worked on. We're famous actors. You guys don't know it yet, but we're famous.
We're so famous.
You should know. You should have known it.
You should know.
Before tuning in.
Yeah, but now you know. That's
what
matters. Now you know.
That's right.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, first things first, we got to do the weekly Rapping with RapScallions weekly wrap-up.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
My name is SE2E7, by the way. I'm an actor. And sitting next to me is Jose Mesquita, who's also an actor.
Yes, I like to consider myself a rapper/actor, like the Big Willie himself. Third time I say that joke today.
Yeah.
Still the bomb. I love it.
That's how you deliver a punchline, people.
Yes. So, how was my week? My week was cool, man. I had some good stuff going on outside of working hours. Normally, it's good to maintain a... No, it's not normally. Always. It's always good to have a nice work-life balance. So, thankfully, I had some activities going on in the afternoons, evenings, or whatever have you. You and I, we share an important date, which we can discuss later. I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to mention it later on. But this week, other than that important day that we share, Panama played Mexico.
Indeed, they did. And they played Jamaica earlier in the week, no?
They played Jamaica Sunday last week.
Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday last week. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we just blasted Jamaica. Sorry. Not sorry. And
not sorry at all.
Against Mexico, we played a really great game. I think, Christensen, the coach, he has these guys playing really beautiful football with the passes and stuff, very intricate, very nice. We were winning 1-0 at one point.
And a lot of people in Mexico were like, hey, Panama deserves a 1-0, but Mexico came out with a 1-1. There's a lot of Twitter fire from Mexico saying how on point the Panamanian team looked.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful to see them play that way because I think they're establishing an identity for themselves, right? And I think, when you play the way they were playing, that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward to think, hey, we can control it. There's no need now for that scary 80, how before in the past it was like, el minuto 80, tiembla, tiembla.
Yeah.
Because we were like, shizzle, man, that's when they score on us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are proposing Christensen for president.
I love it.
I love it. They want him for every public office, get things into shape, get people moving.
Yeah, maybe he'll make us more efficient.
Yeah, that's what we need, efficiency.
We need efficiency in this country, man. And then other than that, man, I also...
No, wait. We won against Jamaica. We're in the octagonal with the tie, right?
Yeah. We're still good. We're still doing well.
What's our point status and what do we need to accomplish?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't know.
All right. Forget that. We're talking about movies.
We're talking about movies.
We're actors. We'll play soccer players.
We'll play
referees and coaches, but we don't have to worry about
But for those of you who want to know what Panama's doing in the soccer or football, Panama's doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing really, really well. We just got to get positive results, man. We got to get positive results.
I think the last that I saw, Mexico's number 1, and we're tied in second place with 3 other teams.
Okay.
Point-wise.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's always good. That's always good.
True.
So, if anybody from New Balance is listening and you guys want to
sponsor us,
give us some shirts, hey, we'll gladly wear them on the show.
We'll gladly wear them. And if you out there, the viewer, likes all our content, we're trying to get Panama history recorded for the ages. Go to our website, www.panamarp.com. You got buttons for everything. You can watch us on Instagram. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube. You can even watch us on the Mars rover if you happen to be on Mars.
Yeah, man, if you're in Mars.
And if you got a little extra ching, chang,
Chang. Make it rain on us, please.
It's a cup of coffee. You can press a button, and instead of drinking coffee every day, that's not good for you, man.
No.
Send us, what's a cup of coffee in the States now, like $10? Send us $10.
Send us $10, man.
Obviously.
$10.
Yeah.
You can make coffee at home and send us $10.
Save money. Send RapScallions some money. Send it. You can buy shirts like this one. Yeah, not like this one.
Not that one.
We won this one. The RapScallions won this in a podcast contest. And speaking of podcasts, go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, and search Rapping with RapScallions. You're going to find us there.
That's right. That's right. So,
my week.
hold on. I have one more thing to say.
My bad.
I have one more thing to say. The NFL season started on Thursday. Cheers to the NFL. So, cheers to you guys that are NFL fans. I joined a fantasy football league, even though my knowledge of current NFL teams and players is non-existent. I know about the 90s, Dan Marino and Brett Favre and all those guys. But I joined the fantasy football league, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's a great way to immerse yourself into the game. Shout out to Arturo Villarreal, guitarist supreme. If you need guitar lessons, contact him. He's tuned in. That guy is a maestro. You need to talk to him.
Now, HB, how was your week, my friend?
Well, in answer to that question, the first thing I need to do is to twirl my mustache.
This guy.
Look at me. You guys might be out there asking, why is he twirling his mustache? And I'll have you know that I'm contractually obligated to maintain this look because I was filming a movie. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the behind the scenes things that we're going to talk to you about in the contract. If they need to film certain things, if they need me in the background. I've already filmed everything where I say my lines, but to make a film more enriching, you got to have those people in the background to make it look more realistic. You're like, hey, this guy just disappeared. No, he's got to be there when they film. Yeah. So I'm contractually obligated to maintain this exact look so that there's continuity in the movie. So my week was very excited. As you can tell, I'm very exuberant. Joe's like, shut this guy up. You guys out there, mute. It's not going to work. None of that's going to work. I had so much fun being on set. I was there collaborating with a lot of good friends. I can't talk to you about the project yet.
Or the friends.
No. But they're good friends. And they're good collaborators. Anyway, so that was my week. I finished on Friday. I'll be filming again in Gamboa. All of you guys love Gamboa.
Gamboa is beautiful.
Yeah.
And 8th of September, we shared an anniversary.
We did. It so happens, as fate would have it, we got married on the same day.
Not to each other, though.
Not to each other. Not that we're against that.
It's not legal.
We married our beautiful wives on the same day, September 8th. And in my mind, if you turn the 8 on the side, it means infinity.
Oh, man, that's beautiful.
Love is infinity.
That's beautiful.
Marriage is infinity.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we were both celebrating this week. So it's been a good week. It's been a good week all around, I think. I think we're all doing good things.
Good things.
Big things.
Big vibes out there to my people.
That's right, man.
RapScallions.
Any of you guys any of you guys celebrating anything?
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want to shout out on your personal celebrations. We're very happy to let the people know because it's all about love and spreading love. Joe, what are we drinking? Do you have show the people?
What are we drinking?
We had a very excellent week, so we're drinking some dulce.
That's right, man. We're celebrating with this delicious, bountiful beverage that you can get. I think right now at El Rey, Supermarkets El Rey, you can get this on a deal.
$22.
$22, man. That's a bargain.
$3 cheaper.
That's a bargain. That's a bargain for a wonderful rum.
That's right. And we're drinking it with not Coca-Cola from a plastic bottle. Coca-Cola from a glass bottle, like the good old days with sugar in it.
I hate it nowadays whenever I taste something and automatically once I eat it, I'm like, this has like Splenda in it.
Yeah, it leaves like a bad taste.
See.
I'm allergic to that stuff.
Yeah, man, that's no bueno. No bueno at all.
Not at all. So let's kick off season 2, episode 7. We're talking about movies made in Panama. Now, the big movie that should be on your mind right now is Suicide Squad.
Man, Suicide Squad is killing it on the charts, I think. It was a big deal when people started, when Suicide Squad hit town. And I remember when they were doing the whole, hey man, Suicide's coming to Panama, the Suicide Squad, because the first one's called Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is coming to film in Panama. I remember hearing about it, reading it on the news and stuff. People were like, everybody got excited. People were like, oh my God, are you going to go cast? Are you going to go to the casting?
They called us. They called us and we're like,
ching, ching.
Joe and I would like to be at the casting at 10 a.m.
That's right.
They're like, we have secured that spot for you two.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
We went, man, and we casted. We went and we cast it, and it was really exciting because you could tell people were excited about it because it's a big deal. This movie, right? It's a big deal. It has a killer cast: Margot Robbie, John Cena, Idris Elba, you know, Idris, Taika Waititi, Pete Davidson. It has a bunch of people. Big Will's not here.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, come on. He was here in Panama. So everybody was excited. Everybody wanted to work with all these talented people. So we went to do the casting. And I was fortunate enough to get chosen to participate in a small way in this movie.
Yeah.
In a small way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people always think like, man, when you go to a casting, and I think this is a common misperception, however you want to say it. Sometimes people think, hey man, if you don't get cast for a major role in a film, what's the point?
There's a little checkbox there too. Like, would you be, if you don't get casted in this part, would you be willing to have another part? Which has happened to me several times. We'll talk about that later in the show. If you ever get to be an extra, if you're an aspiring actor, we'll give you all the behind the scenes tips.
For sure. Because I think something that's very important, and very few people like really realize the amount of work that goes into making a film.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
I mean, and everyone plays. It's kind of like the whole time when you talk about team sports, and they're like, oh, those guys in the bench, they don't play. Or those girls on the bench, they don't play. They're losers.
Yeah.
But they have a key role as
The
well.
linemen are not as important as the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Without the lineman, the quarterback would be demolished. So it's NFL week. Everyone's important. There are no small roles.
No small roles, man. No small roles. No. So thankfully for The Suicide Squad, which I think has been the most recent film that has been filmed here in Panama, it was filmed just before the pandemic, I think.
It was.
When all that
right
went
before
down.
the pandemic.
So February 2020, I got the call. They said, hey Joe.
Joe.
I was like, what's up? They were like, yo, we got an important role for you in The Suicide Squad. And I was like, of course, I'm gonna be cast as Superman because he's gonna make super strong. He's
got the strengths.
I do. They were like, I was like, of course, 'cause he's gonna make an appearance, right? As a sexy bearded bald Superman. That's gonna appear.
That's right. People's Superman.
The people's Superman. But no, I wasn't offered that. I was offered the chance to be a stand-in.
Now, Joe, what is a stand-in?
What is a stand-in?
So we want to know what a stand-in is.
It's very important because a lot of people don't realize that stand-ins happen.
And they're very important, and we'll explain why.
They are very important. So a stand-in is basically a person that comes into a situation before the main actor comes into the situation, sits there, stands there, does specific movements or whatever have you, and allows the crew to test the lighting, to test different things.
The lenses, the focal lengths, how is it going to look? And they're like, once we get it right with this guy, we're going to call in the Hollywood guy.
That's right.
To stand here. You're famous, man.
Hey, man.
Who's your Hollywood doppelganger? You look exactly like him.
Hey, I can say it now because I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, it's very secretive.
I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, man. They took away our phones during the filming because they want us to take pictures, even though half of San Felipe was out in the streets. Not even half. All of San Felipe was out in the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning filming stuff. Nevertheless, I was the stand-in for Peter Capaldi, Scottish actor.
Doctor Who?
That's right.
The guy sitting next to me has taken on the skin of a Doctor Who.
That's right.
That's
That's
amazing.
right. I shook his hand.
Now, besides the obvious differences in shape and size, this guy Capaldi is not a large man.
He is not. For some reason, they thought I would be the perfect stand-in for Peter Capaldi.
Well, he had like head ornaments, right?
He had like these things because this character was a thinker, right?
Yeah.
So he had these things sticking out of his head, and he was walking around with this umbrella so that people couldn't see his, because all the kids, all the kids and all the fans.
I think you got casted for your beautiful head. Look at that cranium.
I think so. I think it's nice.
Beautiful. Very well shaped.
I think so. So I got to stand in for his scenes a couple of times. It was for about 3 days, and it was hardcore, dude. It was hardcore because it was from. That's another thing. Sometimes when you're making a movie, you gotta like sacrifice.
12 hours a day. Mm-hmm. That is a standard work day when you work in the movies. A lot of you guys out there think that, oh man, I'm gonna be an actor. It's so easy. It's pretty tough, to tell you the truth.
Let me tell you something, man. We would show up to the area where everyone was at around maybe 6 p.m. It was just before the sun went down, so maybe 5, around 5. and we would be there until 6 a.m. the following morning. 6 a.m. the following morning. And sometimes we would just be sitting around waiting.
Now, this is the
Waiting.
if you work in the movies, it's not all glamour and paparazzi and millions. It's waiting. The number one thing you're going to do as an actor in any movie, in any industry, whether it be Hollywood, Bollywood, India, or Panama, 99% of your time is going to be spent waiting. And you might think, hey, it's not a problem, but you have to keep your energy up.
You do.
If you think that you're going to sit around and maybe take a nap, guess what? Your energy is going to droop off.
It's going to sap.
So you're sitting there keeping your energy up, and then when they make the call, you run upstairs and you make your shot.
And let me tell you something. When they make the call, it's always now. It's always urgent. It's never like, hey, can you get HB? And then they're like, oh, there's HB. Tranquilo, you get 20 minutes to get yourself set up. Right. No, it's always like, we need HB ASAP.
Now.
He's late.
Now.
He's already late. And you're like, but I didn't even know you needed me. Well, you should have known we needed you.
Yeah, you need to have ESP. You need to be prepared. You need to have your lines on the tip of your tongue. You need to have your character ready. And that's one of the fun things about it. If you look at it from a positive point of view, you're going to have fun because if you really love the craft, then that's just part of it.
For sure. And I think one of the experiences that I took away the most from that, from the Suicide Squad, was not only I was on set, which was amazing. It's always good to be on set. You know, you want to be on set. You learn so much by just simply being on set, talking to people, meeting people that are doing loads of different things. You know, you get to see amazing actors on the set as well. Unfortunately, I never got to see Margot Robbie, but I saw Idris Elba, I saw John Cena, I saw Peter Capaldi. Shook his hand. Shook his hand. Mr. Who. I saw
it was kind of cool, man. You know, on Sunday night, Margot Robbie was on the Oscars, and on Monday morning, we're filming in Casco Viejo right now, and right out the front door is where Margot Robbie filmed her scene in Suicide Squad. So, I mean, Sunday night we watched the Academy Awards, and the next morning, this woman was here in Panama.
Look at that.
Doing her craft.
So that means she had to, like, right after she got out of the Academy Awards, she was like, I'm on a flight.
She's on a plane.
She's on the Panama. You know? And they haven't, and when you're there waiting, you know, you have things available. Like, of course, we didn't have our phones for the reason I mentioned before. But there's, like, snacks and stuff. So you can go have chocolate or whatever you need, coffee. I drank so much coffee. I drank so much coffee. But I made one massive mistake. The first night of filming, I thought to myself, I was like, because I didn't want to take days off from work, right? Because you don't want to sacrifice your vacation days.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to work all day on Wednesday. And then I'm going to go to this filming thing at 5 p.m. And that was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Keeping the energy up is...
At 3 a.m., I'm standing. I'm watching them filming. I'm watching James Gunn do his thing. He's sitting there doing the thing. I'm watching the actors do their thing. And then my eyes start closing. They start closing. And people are like, would you like a Coke? No. Would you like some coffee? No. And they were like, then you better sit down. Because if you don't sit down, you're going to fall asleep standing up and bust your face. And I was like, oh, snap.
Hardcore. What was it? Were you able to watch him do his craft? What was he like on the set?
He seemed very relaxed. I don't know. He was just kind of there. He was sat there. He had this chair, right? He was kind of sat at the chair like this. And he had a monitor. And he was just looking at the monitor. And then whenever the actors would do something, he would just kind of be like, calm over and be like, okay. And then he'd go do the thing.
And this is something that we need to set straight. Like, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants the movie to come out well. So the difference between a good director and a poor director is what you expect from your actors and how you interact with them.
Yeah.
So that type of calm creativity comes from a place of calmness. It doesn't come from a place of stress. So being able to instill...
For sure. I think I appreciate calm directors much more than I appreciate hardcore, stressed out directors that just want to yell at people.
Yeah.
Because that's just like, dude.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Yeah, because, you know, as an actor, you're going out there. You know, I've had some secondary parts. I've had some tertiary parts. And I've been extra more times than I can even recall. But, you know, there's no small roles.
No.
You make a part of the film, and you got to be out there and give your best.
You got to give your best. And also as an act, I mean, you know, just like singers or poets or whatever, when you're acting, you're making yourself vulnerable.
Exactly.
You're opening yourself up.
Yeah.
You know? So if you do a certain line a certain way or say something, and the director's like, "Oh, you stupid son of a...
It's awful. You suck."
Yeah.
Ugh. That hurts.
Yeah, you're like, why
Because
am
you're
I
taking a
doing this?
big chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you're in elementary school and you finally build up the guts to ask that crush that you have. You finally ask them out. That's what it feels like to deliver your lines for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is like in theater, we rehearse a lot. So you have a lot of attempts at delivering your lines.
That's right.
And being having been on several films, a lot of people ask me what should I do, and the biggest anxiety on set is I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then if again we talk about the directors, I was like, try not to stress out, go and give it your best, and then the director will kind of do some course corrections.
Yeah.
And it's better to give more than to give less. You shouldn't go out there and be withheld.
No.
You should go out there and express yourself.
That's
and,
right.
And the director will say, you know what? Let's take it down about 3 notches, but I liked your enthusiasm. Do it again.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of theater, of movies as opposed to theaters. In movies, you can do it over again. You can do it over again. And you never know what you're going to capture.
Yeah. Whereas in theater, it just kind of comes out the way it comes out.
You are in front of the crowd and you have immediate response. Whatever you do in front of the crowd in theater, they're going to let you know. And there's one rule that we live by in theater is that you cannot lie to the audience.
No, man.
So you have to impart your role 100%.
No doubt. So HB, that was my experience on the Suicide Squad. It's out now, I think.
Yeah.
You can watch it wherever you want.
Should I share my experience with Suicide Squad?
Share your experience, man.
Well, I auditioned. I got several callbacks. And when you get a callback, that means that you auditioned.
Yes.
And then they call you back. They're like, we kind of liked what you did, but we want to see you do it again. So I went back.
That's very exciting because you're like, oh man, I'm in
I was
this.
like, ooh,
Yeah.
You get all excited. And then I got called back again, and then another call back, and then I never heard anything again. And mind you, all of Panama is casted in this movie.
Pretty much.
I didn't get casted for anything. Not as a stand-in, not as an extra, not as a grip, not as the light guy, not as a driver, nothing. And they ended up filming right outside my front door.
I mean, it would have been perfect for you, but it was for a reason, I guess. I don't know, because HB is selling himself short. Because even though he didn't get cast in the Suicide Squad, he's been cast in many a movie.
Yeah.
Many a movie. So you gotta go and check out his repertoire.
IMDb. You can go to tweet.org, TWOHY.org. Check out my IMDb page. And if you've got connections in Hollywood, RapScallions, you need to hook it up, man. What's up?
Exactly. So what was your last movie experience? Well, you just had one this week.
Just had one this week. I can't talk about that one. It's going to be nice. It's
gonna be
very
nice.
artistic. Very artistic. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk about, so it's better to not talk about anything. But previous to that, as far as Hollywood movies, I was able to participate in Hands of Stone. I was able to participate in Paradise Lost.
Pablo
Hands of
Escobar.
Stone, I stood 1 to 2, 3 feet away from Robert De Niro. That guy's amazing.
It must be like he must have a very impressive sort of aura, I guess, right?
Well, I'd say you know when you're just an extra, you think to yourself, I have to be professional. But of course, when you meet someone that you really look up to,
yeah.
So he was kind of like, of course, a little tip of the hat, a little bow, and he was nice enough to say hi back, and then, hey, be professional, be present in the film. So I got a little head nod from Robert De Niro. That was cool. And then in Paradise Lost, it was supposed to be Pablo Escobar's party, and I'm the most gringo. And there's no one that looks more gringo than me. But I was at Pablo Escobar's party, and Pablo Escobar was played by Benicio del Toro.
That's right. Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, that was fun. And you know the thing is about that, like, that was pretty early in my filmmaking career, and I was in the middle of my theatrical career. And he had to sing Happy Birthday to his wife, and he kept messing it up.
Benicio?
Yeah. So I kept thinking to myself, man, I could do this. I could do this. And then there's one point in the movie where he has to look at his future, not son-in-law, but his niece's future husband.
The American kid.
The American kid. He has to look at him, and with just one look, he has to tell the kid that if you mess up, I'll kill you. Right? So the whole time, I mean, I'm right next to Benicio del Toro, like this far away from him.
Yeah.
And he kept messing up his lines, and I was like, hey, I can do that too. I can mess up lines.
And get paid all
with
this
the
money.
with the best of them. But that one point when he had to turn around, he had his back to the camera, and he turned around and he looked at the camera and had to impart that feeling of dread and doom.
Well, he has a good face for that.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, at that moment, I was starstruck, and I was like, that's why he is an Oscar winner.
Right.
That guy completely knew how to do that and did it and got it on the first take.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to
And
me.
they were all like, yeah, you did it. You killed it.
Yeah. Like, and with the happy birthday stuff, you know, the guy's not a singer, so he had to do something that was a little out of his
Comfort zone.
Yeah. And the director's like, hey, man, just try to have fun. And I was like, hey, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
So he started having fun, and we're all there, and we started like cheering him on and this and that, and we started singing along with him as the minions of Pablo Escobar would do, right?
Of course.
And the director really loved our participation in that way, you know.
Right.
And he started smiling, and he kind of got into it. He started singing Happy Birthday, and in my mind, I was like, man, I can sing Happy Birthday. But when it came time to give that look, and he turned around, and he went zap. I was like, that's an Oscar winner right there.
That mofo killed me.
Woo, I got a long way to go before I'm that level of an actor.
Killed me.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you can understand. That's where you can see the talent, right?
It is
Totally
because
see the talent. Appreciate the talent.
you have to be able to impart. Like, I'm pretty sure that Benicio del Toro's never murdered anyone.
As far as where we're.
But I've also played a hitman.
You have. Why don't you tell us about that experience, man? Because, like I said, man, HB's been all over the place, man. He's a man who has seen the highs of stardom, superstardom.
As you guys know, stardom is not easy. I'm just kidding. Stardom has not kissed my lips yet. But as far as taking on roles, like for some reason in theater, I always play a comedian. But in movies, I play the bad guy.
Truth.
I've been a colonial oppressor. I've been a hitman. Just recently, I play a French legal man with a fancy mustache.
Who we can't tell you what he does.
Can't talk about it.
So
as far like, how do you do it? Like, how do you get into your mind to be a hitman? So you just have to.
Do you imagine all the people that have ever done you wrong in your life?
Well,
and you're like,
in Historias del Canal, which is on Netflix, you guys can check
it out. www.netflix.com.
I played a pretty mean guy, and every experience is an opportunity. So what I would do is I'd drive around, and every time a taxi driver cut me off, I would remember how angry I felt. And then I would put that in my emotional Rolodex, and
as a weapon to use.
Yeah, like, so when it was time to be on screen, I would look up that emotion and I would remember it, and it kind of made me feel like, and that's the way that I interacted with the people around me.
Yeah.
So as far as being a hitman, I don't know how to explain that to you, but a funny anecdote was that I went with my friend to the fish market to have some ceviche.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, the way friends are, especially in the canal zone, we push each other pretty hard.
Pushing buttons, dog.
He was making fun of me. He's like, "There's no way you can you can play a hitman. No one's gonna believe you. You're a nice guy. Everyone loves you. How are you gonna be a hitman?" And I went like this. And as soon as I went like this with my hand, he turned around and he said, "Everyone started looking at you and knew that you were important."
Wow.
And it happened like that.
Now
it's
you
like,
know.
That's the magic of movies.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Next time you go to the fish market,
pretend like you're a hitman.
Pretend you're a hitman.
Yeah.
You get so much free ceviche.
Yeah, the guy that tried to sell me some cologne, he just turned around and walked away.
He was like, "This guy don't need my cologne."
He's like, "No, this guy's Not fancy cologne. Anyway, we're digressing. What are some other famous, fancy movies, Hollywood movies that have been filmed in Panama?
Man, well, when we were going through our research, we realized that overall, in the early 90s, there were some movies that were done in Panama, but for the most part, it was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet. I think we can all agree that Panama really popped off in the filming industry in the 2000s, right?
For sure.
Around there, I think, is when kind of people started noticing Panama as a good place to go and film like major motion pictures.
Right.
Right. And I think, you know, I think you agree that the first one of these movies to take place here was The Tailor of Panama.
Tailor of Panama.
That was a big deal.
And that's like an A Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
There was Sniper.
Sniper, that's right. That was yeah.
That was a good movie, by the way. But that's considered a B movie.
That one was from the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Let me look that up because I had that one here. Hold on. Sniper. Where are you? Sniper. I made you out of clay. No, that's all. You don't make a sniper out of clay. You made a dreidel out of clay. That one had Tom Berenger and Billy Zane. Of course, everyone knows Tom Berenger and Billy Zane. I always remember him from Titanic and Phantom.
Insane in the Zane, baby.
Yeah, man. That's right, man. So, Sniper. I've never seen that one. I must see it.
It's not that bad. And the jungle scenes are what they filmed in Panama. And then there's also, I think Quarry Heights showed up. And then also, they were in the jungles and automatically the jungles shifted and they were in Mexico. So you can kind of see that's B movie type situation. But it's not bad for a B movie. So Tailor of Panama, heavy hitters right there.
Truth. Total heavy hitters. What do I have the notes on? Tailor of Panama. Where are you, notes? So anyways, what do we know about Tailor of Panama? Here we go. What do we know about Tailor of Panama? Tailor of Panama had an A-list cast. Of course, it was based on John Le Carré's novel, Tailor of Panama. It starred Pierce Brosnan, who was living it up at that time. James Bond. He had that James Bond fame.
And that's not the last time we're going to be mentioning that name.
That's not the last time we're going to be mentioning it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jeffrey Rush.
That guy's good.
Yeah. You had Jeffrey Rush. You had Jamie Lee Curtis, who we haven't heard from in a while.
Oh, she's making the new Halloween movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice, man. Because she was doing a lot of stuff back in the day. And Harry Potter. He made his film debut.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
Holy cow.
He was Jeffrey Rush's son.
Boom.
Harry Potter. For those of you that didn't know, now you know. Harry Potter himself was in The Tailor of Panama.
So that means he came to Panama?
That means he came to Panama.
Amazing.
That means, Daniel Radcliffe, he was here in Panama living it up. Just being like, what up? I'm living in Panama. That's right, man. That's right. Living his best life. So, what can we say about Tailor of Panama? I think it took Panama by storm when it arrived. It was one of these first films that was made here, and people were excited about it. Like, oh my God, The Tailor of Panama. My brother, he was working at the Marriott at the time, and I think the Marriott had recently opened in the early 2000s in Panama. And so, of course, it was the big thing that was happening. So all the stars and stuff were staying at the Marriott.
So he's rubbing elbows with...
He was with all of them.
With Harry Potter and
James Jamie Lee Curtis and James Bond. And they got a lot of the staff from the Marriott to participate as extras in the film. And so they filmed some of the scenes. I think there was a party scene or something that they filmed, and they filmed it in the Marriott. And my brother, his claim to fame was that during the party scene, some scuffle or something happens, and then the camera pans. And if you pause it at the right moment, you can see his forehead.
That's beautiful. A lot of my movie moments are exactly the same. You see my elbow, maybe you see my shoulder. Mm-hmm. You don't want to blink, people.
No.
Blinking is verboten. Mm-hmm. It's forbidden.
That's right. So, huge movie. Huge movie. I think this one started to put Panama on the map. One of my favorite moments is, of course, when I think someone is traveling to London. I think it must have been Pierce Brosnan's character. And he's traveling to the UK in a Copa Airlines plane. And you can tell clearly that it is a model airplane in the thing. It's like,
It's all like,
and Copa doesn't fly to the UK. Copa doesn't have direct flights to
research people.
the UK. Nevertheless, for a brief moment in the Taylor of Panama, Copa had direct flights to the UK. You know, and then you also got to see Sammy Sandra Sandoval. They were performing there in Gamboa.
She can shake it.
She can shake it. She's been shaking it for the past, what, like
She's amazing.
30 years, man? She's incredible. Both of them.
I have an anecdote about that. Is here in Casco Viejo, they used to have music festivals, and in every one of the town squares, they have a different genre of music.
Right.
So let's say in Plaza Catedral, they have typical music, and then over by the French embassy, they would have. Actually, I saw Vittorio Vargas.
Victoria Vergara.
Vittorio Vergara.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right, we
yeah.
got some chatter here. Tuning in from Spain and lives in France. I don't know. It looks like some spam. Anyway,
Spam.
thank
Man,
you.
we got spam. We're spam famous now.
I'm sorry that you have been in the hospital and need some money. If anyone wants to win millions of dollars, please disregard that on our commentary. Hey, that means we're big time now.
That means we're big time. People want us to give them millions of dollars.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about your anecdote from the Taylor of Panama, and that you saw Victorio Vergara here in Casco.
Oh, we're talking about Sammy Sandra. So,
Sandra, man.
in the music festivals, every town square here in Casco, and there's 4 or 5 different places. One had rock and roll, one had típico, one had reggaeton. But I'll tell you what, once Sammy and Sandra started playing, everyone went and watched them play. Those guys are magnetic.
They are. I remember in Chiriquí, when I lived there once I came back from the U.S., I lived there for 2 years, and I remember they would always go and play in La Feria de David, which was like the thing to go see. You know, whenever the Feria de David happened, you had to go see it. And Sammy Sandra would always play there, and it was always jam-packed, and people were there just having a great time. And hey, it's good to see that they got there. I don't know if this is the first movie they've ever been in, but
They rocked it.
they rocked it, man. They rocked it like nobody's business.
All right, what's our next on the Hollywood timeline? What's the next major motion picture?
Well, if we could just talk about one, this one is this. I don't know how popular this one is, but I think it's.
I think everyone in Panama and the Canal Zone. I know all my friends watched it.
Yeah,
and-
this one right here.
Yeah.
I thought this movie. Actually, I saw it maybe a couple of years ago for the first time on Netflix, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta watch that movie, man." And the movie I'm talking about is Noriega, God's favorite, starring Bob Hoskins.
Excellent actor. This guy's good.
Bob Hoskins as the man himself, Manuel Noriega. What an interesting movie.
What did you think of that portrayal as a Panamanian?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting. He was evil.
It was just completely odd.
I mean, yeah.
So, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. What?
I don't know. Can I give it? I think it was interesting.
But I mean, was it any way based on fact?
I don't know.
I
don't
watched
know.
it and I remember just being completely flabbergasted and
I don't
thinking
know.
to myself like this. I don't know who wrote this script. You know, and you can't fault the actor. You know.
No. And you're trying to like capitalize on something that happened in, you know, it came out in 2000. It was made for television, so. But, you know.
It was bad. That's I'm okay. We're done sugarcoating stuff. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't based any way in what I thought it should have been portrayed as. So it was probably someone grabbing headlines and trying to take advantage of the fact that Noriega was in the news.
Yeah.
And was able to get some funds and get a.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Bob Hoskins is an excellent actor.
Yeah, and I think other than Bob Hoskins, you didn't really have any other notable actors in this movie, I guess, right? You have, yeah, I don't recognize. Do you recognize any other names on here?
I don't.
I do not either.
Let's move along. You know what? It's on Netflix. Check it out. And, you know, a lot of people who are watching right now, you know, grew up in Panama, are related to Panama somehow. check it out and let us know in the comments what you think about Noriega.
God's favorite, man.
Noriega,
favorite. God's favorite.
I wasn't too impressed with it. I'm gonna give it a second chance because I was fucking 12 when it came out.
It's very possible, yes.
So,
our next movie on our timeline of amazing movies to be filmed in Panama, I think, was another movie that was just as popular, if not more popular, than The Tailor of Panama when it happened. Yeah. Why? Because when this movie was being filmed, a lot of us were more. Well, I wasn't able to, but a lot of us were more of the age where we could participate.
Yeah. A lot of people participate, and it was a thing. Like it was a meme. Like, oh, another one who says that they were a big star.
Yes, that's right. And of course, the movie we're talking about is Quantum of Solace, James Bond.
Yeah.
Bond.
Filmed that away down the street. The place where it was actually filmed. Oh, one of the places that they filmed was the old Union Club.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the movie, if you go back and watch the movie, I mean, a lot of people down the movie, but I liked it.
Yeah. I
like James Bond movies.
I like James Bond. He's a cool cat.
And I think a lot of people, it kind of went. It was a little different from the norm.
Yeah.
A lot of people downed it, but of course, everyone who's from Panama is like, that's the best damn Bond film because it was filmed in Panama.
That's right.
So there's a party scene where they're like in ruins and there's like lots of flowing.
Yeah. There's
telas. They made that place look beautiful.
Because that place is ruins.
It's ruins. That's the old Union Club.
Yeah.
And that was, during Just Cause, that was one of the places where Noriega had his men's club. It was like a place for his upper echelon of soldiers to congregate and drink booze and
have a good
party
time.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Not that we're against that, right? Cheers.
Not at all. Cheers.
Let us know out there what you guys are sipping on.
Hey, man, we're always keen to share drinks with the RapScallions. So let us know what you're having.
Let us know what you're having. So, during Just Cause, that place got blown up. And me living here in Costco, I have very fond memories of the ruins there because they had a saltwater pool where the tide would come up.
Cool.
They would put the plug in and you had fresh salt water. And then they would pull the plug, let the water go out, and then when the tide comes back in, they'd always have fresh water.
Like it would be circulating in and out.
Circulating, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And also, there was a lot of artistic events happening there in those ruins where, because there were different rooms, there would be different art exhibits in different rooms. It was a lot of fun. So when you watch Quantum of Solace, look for a party scene where they have lots of flowing fabrics and stuff like that.
Were you in Quantum of Solace?
I was not. I was in the United States. Tough for them.
Tough for them, man. They're lost.
They're lost. They didn't get a RapScallions in there.
They did not. But I remember that movie being a big deal. That movie came out. Let me just check the year when it came out. I think it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. I remember there was one girl that I went to college with, and I remember that she got like a proper, because she was at the party scene, and then she was like having a drink or something, and she put it down, and then the camera panned from her face to like what was going on. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
I like arrived one day too late. You know, like
that could have been you. Could
have been me. I could have been the party. Also, the motorcycle scene where his friend, the Italian guy, gets put in a dumpster. That's in Santa Ana near the Machetazo.
Right.
There's a parking lot behind there. So those are the more notable scenes in Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, man, totally. Like I think a big film, like you say, I think if you ask anybody who lives in Panama, they'd be like, "It's the best James Bond, best damn James Bond film."
I liked it.
Best damn James Bond film ever made, man. Best film ever. Did you guys like it?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know, man.
What's next on the hit list, Joe?
Let's carry on. Hold on, I'm trying to pull my list. I got so many.
There've been so many movies filmed here. If there's also classic movies filmed in the Canal Zone.
Yes.
You can go to archive.org, and there are what is it called? Like public
domain.
Public domain movies.
Yeah.
There's one movie, the name of it escapes me, but they show they go down and they buy lobsters from the Mercado de Mariscos here in Casco Viejo, and then they show them going through the canal. It's a detective movie. It's not very good.
No?
It was awful. I watched it. I looked it up. I watched it. I can't recall the name.
That's
Also,
cool.
there was another war movie that they were supposed to film in the Pacific Islands, but they ended up filming it in Chorrera.
Really?
Yeah.
Which movie is that?
You got to look it up.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having a problem here with my tabs.
That was around, I think it was around the 60s. In the 60s, they decided to film because of all the military bases here in Panama.
Makes sense.
They were able to get those into the film out in Chorrera, and make it look like it was jungle scenes. The movie is not very highly regarded, but it falls on the list of movies made in Panama.
Right. Of course, man. Of course. Let's see. So we've already talked about Hands of Stone, which of course this one was in.
Yeah.
This one was in that one.
I was in that one.
Quantum of Solace. Talked about that one. Suicide Squad. Talked about that one. Taylor Panama. Talked about that one. But there's a couple more films. That we got to talk about. I'm thinking for this, we should at least mention this one. We should mention this one.
Oh yes, we have to.
How could we not mention this one? And the one I'm talking about is Contrabands, 2012.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, Kate Beckinsale.
Love Kate Beckinsale.
Man, Diego Luna, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons is good.
J.K. Simmons is badass.
So these guys are laundering money, and they come down to Panama, and they show like an overpass. They show the overpass right over here by the fish market.
Yeah. There's a shootout there.
And they do a shootout.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Is
and
it?
They show some shipping containers.
And they show shipping containers.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg says Churrillo.
Yes.
Churrillo.
Horrible.
They get a van and they drive it through Churrillo.
Churrillo.
So that's pretty great. It's pretty great.
So we're in Costco right now. Behind us is Santa Ana, and behind Santa Ana is Chorrillo.
That's right.
And then on the other side of Chorrillo is Ancon Hill and the Canal Zone. Now the reason why Chorrillo got that name is because when they moved from Panamá la Vieja to Casco Viejo, they needed a source of water. And a Chorrillo is a small waterfall.
No doubt. And you
Sprinkles
gotta have
sprinkles of
knowledge, man. And you gotta have a civilization near places where you have water, because everybody knows you need water to live. Hey, you know something very interesting that I read today is the older you get, apparently the harder it is to stay hydrated, because as you age, your body doesn't tell you
how thirsty
you are.
True, that's good. Some solid information there.
So all you people listening in,
Sip.
keep drinking that water, man. Keep drinking that water, because if you don't drink water, you're gonna dehydrate. And you know what happens? Your skin loses elasticity. And then you get all like...
And if you're old and wrinkly, you're not going to be in Hollywood movies.
You're not going to be in a Hollywood movie, man. You're not.
Take care of your skin so you can be a famous superstar.
That's right, man. Like RapScallions. Superstar.
We're superstars.
Every day. All right, man. Let's keep going down our list of films that were shot or have things to do in Panama. This one?
Basic, man.
Basic. You're so basic. Oh, Basic. I forgot about this one. Basic 2003 mystery action thriller starring the man himself, Sam Jackson, alongside John Travolta and Connie Nielsen. What do you have to say about Basic, HB? So basic.
And there's a lot of legends behind this movie.
Tell us the legends, my friend. Tell us the legends.
Well, in Panama, as the male viewership knows, prostitution is legal. So,
Indeed.
certain stars
Right.
were known to frequent the gentlemen's clubs.
You don't say.
I do say.
Whoa,
And
whoa. You heard that here first.
they took full advantage of it. One of the actors came out with several beautiful ladies of the night.
Wow.
Much respect to the ladies.
Much respect. Much respect.
He was in his element. He came out. They rented a. I don't know.
Who's they?
Sam Jackson
Oh.
is reportedly showed up at Miami Club.
Right. Okay. That's
Or
an
Golden. Also in Golden Times.
That's an El Dorado for you.
They went to. Joe knows. I never heard of these places. Never.
I mean, I was there with Sam Jackson, but I was just looking.
Yeah. So they went to Miami Club, and then they went in a limousine. This is the story. This is not true. This is just
Urban legend.
Urban legend. They went. John Travolta and Sam Jackson went to Golden Times,
Right.
which is across the highway, right? It's across the street.
From here?
No, Miami Club.
Ah, yeah.
See, you know where it's at, huh?
Oh, it's also in El Dorado. Because you can't miss it. You're driving on Tumba Muerto, and you look to the right.
So if you're in Miami
you see
Club and you go
Golden
across Tumba Muerto, you go to Golden Times. There's a window there, and there's ladies with numbers on there,
Right.
bikinis.
Right.
And John Travolta purportedly left, but Samuel L. Jackson was like, "I'll take 2, 6, and 12," and he left with 3 ladies.
Man.
This is all legend.
Sam Jackson.
There's no basis in fact. So
Man. Did Connie Nielsen get in on any of the action?
I'm
No.
sure she did. She's a
Man.
very beautiful woman.
She is beautiful indeed. Very beautiful indeed. And Carina Manning says on the gram, she's like, "What? I didn't know that."
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
And some of the party scenes that they filmed in that movie, Basic, were carnival type scenes, and they were completely fabricated. They were in the area of Santa Ana, with wooden buildings, and they had like a Day of the Dead.
Because we celebrate that here.
We do not celebrate that here. So the carnival scenes that you see in Basic were
basic. So basic.
so basic, not based on truth. But Sam Jackson had a good time.
Man, I remember hearing about this movie. I have actually never seen it. Now is it on Netflix?
Oh, and they went to Gamboa too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they did extensive filming in Gamboa.
Man, I wondered. The poster looks super badass. Look at that.
Not the best movie. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
And if you're from Panama, you're going to have the enjoyment of seeing things that you can relate to.
Man, it's always nice whenever you see things you can relate to in movies.
Well, you know, I'm a little bittersweet about Suicide Squad.
Why?
Because not only at Quantum of Solace used Colon as a Haiti stand-in. No, yeah. No, that was Casino Royale.
Yes.
And then Suicide Squad used Colon as just like a deplorable
Location where nobody wants to go.
And my parents are from Colon. My grandmother's from Colon. And being proud of having that makes me angry.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, Colon's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful province. It's gone through hard times. But you shouldn't just be like, "Oh, this looks like a terrible place where nobody would ever want to go. Let's use it."
We're so proud that Suicide Squad chose Colon to be a dilapidated piece of crap.
Let's keep it that way. Yeah.
You know? Cologne has so much history. Cologne is important to the country.
I agree.
Scroll down, you'll find we did a whole show on Cologne.
We did do a whole show on Cologne, man. Yeah. No, that definitely sucks, man. I think whenever movies go to a location, you know, to shoot or whatever, you should also try and like bring out something good. Something good should come of it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're bringing a lot of attention to something. So yeah, it's definitely not good if they're like, "Let's go to Cologne because it looks like crap," and then the government's like, "You know what we should do? Keep it looking like crap, so that more movies will be filmed."
We've just made millions of dollars, and none of it's going to go in fixing the infrastructure of Cologne.
Exactly.
Which they've been promising for several presidencies.
That's right. Now you know. So hey, if anybody's listening, you should put RapScallions in charge of helping Cologne be a more beautiful province and helping fix it up because those people need it. It's a beautiful location.
All right, what's next? I'm a little bitter about.
Don't get bitter because the next movie I'm going to talk about actually never took place in Panama, but they do mention it.
They mentioned it.
Yes, they mention it in Fast and the Furious 2009. I'm sure we have
the
a lot
original?
of... No, because that was The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, my bad.
This is Fast and Furious without the the.
Ah, okay.
Without the the. This is a very small mention because Panama, believe it or not, gets very small mentions in several films.
Yeah,
Several films.
And TV shows.
And
as well.
TV shows.
Yeah.
They're just like Panama. And that's it. But in 2009's Fast and the Furious, how does Panama pop into this movie? You say this great movie starring Vin Diesel, directed by Justin Lin, part of the Fast and the Furious saga that all of us love and enjoy.
Hey, I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like seeing cars fly through the air and tanks on fucking ice.
Man, I think it's the best. I think it's one of those
dropping F-bombs.
You can, yeah, seriously. This is a children's show.
That's right. We got Scallions out there.
Hey man, this is you can go and watch Fast and Furious. You go in there, you just turn off, and you're like, take me somewhere, Uncle Vin. What are you gonna do next?
I'm a fan of Hollywood. I like it.
What are you gonna do next? Me too.
I'll eat that steak all day.
Me too. Cheers. Cheers to Fast and Furious. Cheers. So in this movie, we get Dominic Toretto. He is living in Panama City.
Yeah, he's like Cuba or something. It's like some weird alternate universe version of Panama.
That's right. Where there are, it looks, there's chickens everywhere,
Yeah.
and there's people in wagons and stuff. And it's just,
as Trump would refer to it, it was a third world shit.
it was a third world. Yes.
He had his flower shirt on.
That's right.
Chickens running around. That's how Hollywood sees Panama.
That's right. So he was there just hanging out, hiding out from the authorities. And he gets a phone call from his sister. He's like, yo, I'm Panama. And you're looking at him, you're like, that's not Panama.
Panama? This guy's never even been to Panama.
What's going on, Bing? How could you lie to us
That's
way?
the only Fast and Furious I didn't like. Because they misrepresented our beautiful country.
Man, if Panama City was anything like it was in this movie, then we'd be screwed.
Yeah.
We'd be super screwed.
It's a Latin Manhattan, baby.
Super screwed. That's right, man. We're like Miami. People come here, they're like, oh man, it's so Miami. We're like,
Bienvenidos a Panama.
bienvenidos a Panama. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that one, man. And then I'm gonna do another mention of a movie where Panama got a slight mention as well.
Give us a slight mention.
Because if you guys didn't know, in 1998, in the epic 1998 film Godzilla,
Oh, smack.
you know who stepped through Panama on their way to New York?
I'm going to guess Godzilla.
That's right, man. Godzilla's been to Panama, folks. Bet you didn't know that. But yes, indeed, she has. I always assume Godzilla's
I think in that movie she gives birth, right? So
Yeah,
she's-
yeah.
That's a gyal.
Yeah.
A gyal dem.
Hey, man. And they were following her, and they were like, oh, man, she's gone through Panama.
Check it out. Glass bottle Coca-Cola only in Panama.
Only in Panama.
Delicious. This is what you want to mix your rum and cokes with.
If you guys want some, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll send you some official RapScallions bottles.
$50 a bottle.
That's right, man, because we got to pay for the shipping and handling.
Cool it.
But yeah, man, Godzilla's been through Panama. I bet you guys didn't know. If you want to know, you should check out 1998's Godzilla. It has an epic soundtrack. Puff Daddy, Jimmy Page, Come With Me. Wow. HB's favorite song.
No, it's not. I think it's horrible. Anyway. Who else went through Panama? Herbie.
Herbie went through Panama. Yes. Let's get that one.
Did I jump? Did I jump too far?
No, I mean, hey, we're going all over the place. We're just talking about all the movies, man.
In addition to Franz Quo's excellent research,
Herbie goes
Joe
bananas.
is a mastermind.
Man, I do what I can with what I got. In Herbie Goes Bananas, Herbie Goes to Panama's.
1977,
What?
right? No, that's Monte Carlo.
This one's
1980.
Yeah. 1980. I'm looking for Panama here.
What's the actual title of the movie?
It's called Herbie Goes Bananas.
All right, so search Herbie Goes Bananas and you'll see the Love Bug, the Volkswagen Bug, go over the Bridge of the Americas. I think he actually transits the canal, right?
I think so. And this was before. What's that redhead girl's name that was so popular? And she did a Herbie movie. This is before her. This is the original Herbie.
Original Herbie.
This is the original Herbie.
I remember that. And someone just recently, like 3 or 4 years ago, found the Love Bug in one of the junkyards in Panama.
No way. You're a liar.
I'm totally lying.
You're a
I'm such a
liar.
liar. I made that up.
They like left it here. They're like, whatever.
They left it here.
Nobody wants Herbie anymore. Let's leave this mofo
leave
here. Man, Herbie drove through the Bridge of the Americas, y'all. Did you guys know that? Now, every time you drive through the Bridge of the Americas, if you're in Panama, you're going to be like, Herbie
Herbie was here. You can get a little
Herbie.
tattoo on your back. Says Herbie was here.
Herbie was here, man. Herbie was here. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm gonna have to revisit that movie, man.
What is that?
Which one?
1937.
1937, man. If anyone has seen this movie, please mention it in the comments. Because I bet y'all haven't. Because you know why? You get a scene of the Panama Canal Zone. It's called Swing High, Swing Low. It's a film. Romantic comedy. Starring Carol Lombard and Fred McMurray.
Carol Lombard's hot. So I think in this is the movie that I was talking about that's on the archive.org.
Word?
They're coming to Panama. They show scenes of them arriving in Panama, and they go to the fish market and they buy like 2 giant lobsters.
Right.
And then they show them relaxing in Hotel Central. Very nice place to visit.
Yep.
And then it shows them at the canal, and it shows the building in Miraflores that's between the locks.
Right.
Beautiful.
That's
Well done.
incredible. Man,
The movie's awful.
I'm just going to give you a slight recap. Oh, by the way, shout out to Chechi. He says the redhead girl we were talking about that was in the Herbie movie, Lindsay Lohan.
This is way before Lindsay Lohan.
Way before she was even born, most likely.
She wasn't even an itch in her father's
She
pants.
was.
Props to Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you did what you did.
We should do
What you
a
had.
remake.
Yeah.
Now that the canal is in control of Panama, Lindsay Lohan should come back and remake the movie.
Then remake the movie. That's a challenge for you, Lindsay Lohan.
We're calling you out.
We know you're watching.
Yeah,
So, anyways, right now we're talking about
definitely watch.
we're talking about Swing High, Swing Low, 1937 American romantic comedy, starring Carol Lombard and Fred McMurray. So, just check this out, guys. Check this out. This is what happens. We'll tell you what happens here. So,
Hit us up.
working her way as a hairdresser on board a liner traveling through the Panama Canal Zone, Maggie King, played by Carol Lombard, brushes off a brash young soldier, Skid Johnson. We all have
Skid.
friends named Skid.
Yeah, Skid, like
Skid.
skid mark.
Skid, exactly. And he's on his last day in the army. But he's persistent. And the next day, she and her friend Ella go on a double date with him and his piano player friend Harry in Balboa.
Balboa.
So they're at the nightclub, right? They're hanging out. They're cooling out. And Maggie, she's all like, man, I hate trumpet players.
What's wrong with trumpet players? I played the trumpet. You guys don't even know that. 12
There you go.
years.
12
trumpet.
years. Trumpeteer right here. So Skid, what does Skid do? He's like, check this out. I can play the trumpet like nobody's business. So he's all like, boop, 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 boop. And she's all like, whoa.
How was he?
Boop, 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 boop. That's how the trumpet
The
sounds.
trumpet doesn't have that many
Boop, boop,
buttons.
boop, boop, boop. My trumpet does. Boop, boop, boop,
That's a clarinet. It looks like a clarinet. All right.
So he impresses her. And then she's all like, oh man, I love you, Skid. He's like, oh, I love you too. And they get married at the end.
That was beautiful. That was much better than the actual movie.
That's right. That's what happens.
Tune in to Joe reenacting movies because this guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
I love this guy.
Hey man, swing high.
What's next on the list?
Swing low. Let's see, the next movie. We're just doing random movies now, guys.
Yeah, let's get we went to Herbie.
What do we have? We have, let's see, what's this over
Let's
here?
get modern time.
Modern. You can't get more modern than this.
Oh yes, yes. I'm gonna make a drink. That means I'm going to the bathroom while he talks about this epic masterpiece of movie making.
Oh goodness, this is the first ever because we normally don't take bathroom breaks in RapScallions, but we're doing right now. Team America, World Police. I bet you guys didn't know about this, man. Team America, of course, you may know this movie. The puppets. People love the puppets, man. I love puppets. You love puppets. So, in Team America, believe it or not, the Panama Canal gets destroyed. The Panama Canal gets destroyed. Yes, I know. It's hard to believe. But I'm going to tell you right now, man. These guys were not able to protect the Panama Canal from it being destroyed by the evil terrorist. I think one of my favorite things about this movie is that they actually have to get a Broadway actor to help Team America. And whenever he's in problems, they use a great line, which I have told many of my acting colleagues in the past. They say, use your acting. Just like that. So now you know, if you're ever in a situation where you feel that you cannot accomplish something, use your acting. Use your acting, and that will get you through the day, knowing that you have the talent to overcome the obstacles in your life, man. Use your acting. Use your acting. So yeah, man, Panama Canal gets destroyed. It's a shame because, you know, a lot of stuff happens. So let me tell you about how that goes down, right? Let me tell you how that goes down. So Gary, who's the one who uses his acting, he is, you know, trying to hook up with Lisa, you know, and he's telling her about his childhood and everything that's going down and how his brother got killed by gorillas. So then that leads to them having a close encounter of the puppet kind. HB's back. I'm just telling them about Team America.
Oh.
So this is the first movie where you will ever potentially see two puppets make love. While they're making love, terrorists blow up the Panama Canal. Blow up the Panama Canal.
It's amazing. And you know what? This is the second time in the RapScallions history that I've left Joe on his own. But you know what? This is worth talking about. When early on in the RapScallions history, we had some technical difficulties, and when I was trying to focus on pressing buttons, Joe had to improvise at least 10 minutes of
10 minutes.
Calypso knowledge.
Yes.
And it's one of the most amazing things that I've ever witnessed in my life.
Thank you, my friend.
A testament to the acting and improvisation skills of Jose Mesquita.
Thank you. But however, this was not improvised. I promise you. This is all part of the research that we did preparing for this show.
You know, once we get through talking about some of the films that have been made in Panama, where you can see certain landmarks that you may be familiar with, we're going to give you guys a top 10 rundown. If you're ever an extra or participating in the movie, these are the things that you want to make sure that you're going to do.
Totally, man. For sure. So now we've talked about Team America, which was right up there, man. There was another one which was just on the top of my head right now, which I didn't include in the list. And now I'm like, I forgot about it. And I don't remember why. It wasn't Hands of Stone, because we talked about Hands of Stone.
Did we talk we didn't talk that much about, we talked about Hands of Stone. We didn't talk about Paradise Lost.
No, not at all, man. That was a good movie. I like that movie, man.
Yeah.
And you were there on the set.
Yeah. Everything that I did got cut out.
as tends to happen.
Yeah. So in we still have the chat group, because WhatsApp is the best way to get film rolls.
Truth.
Within the Paradise Lost WhatsApp chat group, I'm referred to as Hombre Borroso.
Hombre Borroso.
Because in the aforementioned scene where Benicio del Toro is singing Happy Birthday to his wife, I'm standing between them, but they blurred me out.
What they blew you out, dog?
So, when you watch that movie and you see the Happy Birthday scene, take note. You will recognize me immediately, even though I'm blurred out.
You'll be like, I know that man. I recognize that man. That man there. That's HB.
Carina Manning is tuning. She's like, why? What the hell? Exactly. Well, you know what? These Hollywood executives, they don't know what talent is.
They don't, man. They don't. They think they do, but they don't.
So they blurred me out, and I'm known as Hombre Borroso.
Hombre Borroso.
Yeah.
HB. I love it. Hombre Borroso.
Exactly. So what other movies are we going to talk about?
There was another movie. Well, there's so many movies. We're just bouncing around now. We're doing a timeline bounce. We're bouncing all over the universe. We're bouncing
Panama
all over
Hattie.
time. Panama Hattie.
We remade that in the Theater Guild.
Theater Guild of Ancon. TGA. Panama Hattie. That was a very popular film. Came out in 1932. It was based on a Broadway musical of the same name. HB, you were in Panama Hattie.
I was in Panama Hattie.
Why don't you tell us about that experience, man?
I was not in the movie because that's back in the 1942. But when we remade it in the Theater Guild, and a lot of Zonians out there will remember the Theater Guild of Ancon, the TGA.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends, Adam Herzig,
shout out to Adam.
Big time. He just had a birthday. Big shout out, big hugs. And I had a very small role, but I really wanted to work with him because he like studied theater and to
Yeah, he's a really talented cat.
the knowledge that he has. I was like, I don't care how small the role is, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And so I had a small part, and it was a lot of fun. Go back to the page because the music,
Boom.
it wasn't, let's say, authentic, but the music was very engaging. Who's the?
Those are the songs right there. Which song did you sing?
I'm in all the songs.
You're in all the songs? Which was your favorite?
It's hard for me to pick one favorite, but go back, watch Panama Hattie, and know that we remade it in Theater Guild of Ancon. It was a lot of fun.
Man,
Again, not historically accurate, but we enjoyed it.
I think I wasn't able to see that movie I wasn't able to see that play for some reason, but I'm sure I would have loved it because it had an all-star cast full of amazing people. This movie, you know this movie.
Yes.
You know this movie.
It wasn't filmed in Panama.
It wasn't filmed in Panama.
Should have been filmed in Panama.
Should have been filmed in Panama.
Because we're talking about the Mosquito Coast starring Harrison Ford and subsequently redone by Apple TV.
That's right.
Which we both enjoyed. We've talked about it before on the show.
Yeah. Starring Justin Theroux.
Yeah. The Mosquito Coast is in Panama, going up to Costa Rica, but they filmed this movie, I think, in Nicaragua. Does it say there?
Let's see.
Belize.
It was shot in the cities of Georgia and Belize. Yeah, it was in Belize. Should have been filmed in Panama.
That movie's hardcore.
For sure.
I
Hey,
liked
man,
it.
that's a good movie about a father's love for his family.
Michelle Quo says, I got to see HB in Panama Hattie at the TGA. Thank you, Michelle, for...
There you go.
I played the drunken captain.
What was your name? What was the captain's name?
Captain Hattie. I don't even
Captain Hattie. You were Captain Hattie?
I was supposed to use a flask, and Adam, knowing that it was a big part, allowed me to drink on set, which is usually a big no-no.
It's a big no-no, man.
It's a huge no-no.
It's a huge no-no. Though we do know some people that somehow, some way, they use the drinking to enhance their character. I don't know how they do it.
We're not gonna mention names.
But we tried it, and it's not. No.
You want to be clear.
You want to be clear.
And precise.
You want to be clear and precise, man. Clear and precise. There's another movie HB was in, which was pretty cool. I saw it. It was cool, and it was called Just Cause. Was it called Operation Just Cause? Was it called Just Cause? Causa Justa. Just Cause. And of course, that was about the U.S. invasion of Panama. And HB here, he was like,
Delta number one.
Delta number one. D1, baby. This guy. Why don't you tell us about that, man? How was that experience for you?
That's the thing is, like, as far as, a lot of people poo-poo, maybe denigrate the movie a little bit because it's not the way they remember it.
Right.
But I want to reassure the people listening to the show that it's very, very important that these types of things are being made and that conversation is continuing because I'm going to tell you guys something. When we went to the screening and the actors that were invited to go took their children, the children came out and we were all posing, being proud of having the opening night, and the kids there were like, that didn't really happen in Panama. That we're not taught that in school. So their first experience with the invasion or the liberation, whatever your viewpoint is, that memory is being lost, and it's not been that long ago.
Yeah, man. I think that's one of those things where it's always interesting to see how, when you talk to older people, more experienced people.
We did a show on this. Scroll down and watch our show, and I had a shirt on that says I survived Just Cause, and someone commented, said that shirt is inappropriate. It's very inoffensive. It's very offensive. It's not very appropriate. But we actually lived through Just Cause.
You lived it, man. It was a huge moment in Panamanian history, and a moment that we can't forget. You know how people say history repeats itself, man, and it repeats itself when people don't learn their lessons. So it's definitely something that we have to look back upon, learn about, talk about it, and just live with it to make sure that we don't find ourselves in a similar situation again in the future.
You're absolutely correct, Jose Mesquita.
Nobody.
That's why I love this guy.
Thanks, dog. I love you too, dog.
We talked about the Noriega movie, which was not really accurate, and then now we're talking about Causa Justa, which is probably the first large attempt to capture the events of that evening.
It's also pretty hard to make out in that movie, I guess, who the good guys are.
Are there good guys?
I guess the good guys, or guys and gals, would be the regular person who just wanted to live their life, right?
Check it out on Netflix. Please watch it. Send me your comments. Send us your comments.
Oh yeah, we'd love to talk about it for sure.
Because it's something that needs to be talked about. And
Yes.
it's being forgotten. And
No.
I was really, during the filming, I was like, wow, I'm supposed to be Delta Force, but this is not accurate to Delta Force. I was being a bit of a dick, you know what I mean? But I really changed my viewpoint on how that was represented when I saw the children of the actors
Yeah.
say, did this really happen in Panama? We don't even know anything about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So these types of things are important.
Definitely. Most definitely. And just like that, I mean, there's a lot of movies, a lot of important movies that have been made here in Panama. There's a lot of, I guess, directors that you can say have made their mark in Panamanian film.
Yeah.
I guess one of those we could mention, Arturo Montenegro.
Yeah,
He's
we
been
worked
pretty
with him.
prolific. Both of us have worked with him in different films, different movies.
And you should all know that Arturo spent a lot of time at the Theater Guild learning the trade.
That's right. I think definitely.
Very proud to have him.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good director to work with. I think he's one of the calm type of directors that we can appreciate, who doesn't yell at people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really good.
So I think we're running through our list of movies that were filmed here. We're going to take you behind the screen, or behind
Yeah.
the screen and behind the scenes, because what you see, it's easy to criticize, but it's making a movie is very difficult.
It is indeed, man. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of flexibility, mostly from your end as a actor.
So if you guys would like to see RapScallions produce a movie, go to PanamaRP.com, click that donate button. We would love nothing more to capture history of Panama on celluloid.
And we have a lot of ideas. Believe us, we have loads of ideas.
Loads
Loads of ideas. Did you see this movie, HB?
The Laundromat.
This one was on Netflix.
Yeah.
The Laundromat, 2019. Directed by Steven Soderbergh. Starring Meryl Streep, Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas, David Schwimmer, Jeffrey Wright. And it had to do with the Panama Papers, dog.
Just a little backstory.
Panama
Joe and I
Papers.
were invited to a script reading about Panama Papers, and that script was much better.
Yeah.
Much better built.
More, yeah, for sure.
The Laundromat.
Than the Laundromat, for sure.
So again, we have a film that kind of grabbed a hot topic, something that was hot in the news, and tried to make a movie about it.
Yeah.
And it, I think it misrepresented Panama's role internationally on what was the Panama Papers.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see a show explaining the Panama Papers, let us know in the comments.
Let us know for sure. We totally love to do one. This movie, again, I think this movie was not filmed. No part of it was filmed in Panama whatsoever. I think the parts that were Panama, probably Miami.
Yeah. Most likely
Miami. You do get to see some of the, when one of the characters gets interviewed, the microphone tops have the logos of Panamanian news stations. So that was pretty cool. But for the most part, no, not filmed in Panama.
Can we order those?
I guess so. We can have them made. But it was a very interesting movie. But like HB said, we read a
Carina
script.
Manning says, yes, do it. I think she's referring to Panama Papers. I have a lot to express about Panama Papers. It's probably an unpopular view.
Man, Panama Papers, man. I have stories.
Yeah.
Stories. But you know what? Right now, we're just talking about making movies, dog. We're talking about making movies.
Well, we're at 427. Let's talk about... Let's go back and forth. The top 10 things that if you're ever involved in a movie, you should probably take into account.
Right.
Because making movies is a lot harder than you think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with number 10.
Do it.
Personal hygiene.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
You're going to be standing close to people
Yeah.
for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You need to get your deodorant game on, and you need to not put offensive cologne and perfume on. You know, you don't want to stink up the set.
No.
You think, hey, I'm going to a nightclub. You're not going to a nightclub.
No.
Put the Dracar in the closet. Don't put any cologne on. You're going to offend the people standing around you.
Yeah.
You're going to spend a lot of time in proximity, very close proximity with
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
Personal hygiene is important.
I mean, that's a life lesson right there.
And you don't want to stink bodily, but you also don't want to stink perfume wise.
No, you don't. You don't.
You want to be neutral.
You want to be neutral. You gotta
Right.
be neutral. Especially if you're going to be standing around for like loads of hours.
12 hours a day is the normal filming day. You can expect to be occupied for 12 hours. Joe, do you have?
And you're probably just going to be sitting around
Yeah.
for the majority of it.
Is that number 9 or is?
No. Number 9 is be nice. Be nice. I think
This is a life lesson, by the way.
be nice to the people around you because you're probably going to be sitting around for a long time with a bunch of people that you probably just met on that day. So, be nice, man. Talk to people. And if they take your phones like they did for us in...
No Old Spice,
No Old Spice.
by the way.
No Old Spice. No Old Spice. They're probably going to take your phone or take a book. No, that's another lesson. So number 9, just thinking would be nice.
Yes.
Be nice, man. You're
And
all
this-
there for the same purpose.
This is a life lesson. When you don't know what to do, and in your mind you're thinking, I should do this, I should do that, I should do that. Choose kindness.
Yeah, man. If you can be anything in the world, be kind, man. Kind.
Like if you have a hard time organizing Thanksgiving dinner, imagine organizing hundreds and hundreds of people to act.
Yeah.
And actors are emotional people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be nice. Be nice.
Yeah, man. Support each other.
I don't know how to follow that up.
I don't
Number
know.
8.
Number 8, man.
Number 8. Joe touched upon it. You're going to be waiting a lot. A majority of your time, 90% of the time that you're going to be on set is waiting for your time to be filmed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you need to chill the F out. You're not that special.
No, you're not. Sorry.
Even the main actor, like, I had a small part in a movie where I have to keep this mustache, and the main actor is a friend of mine. I've acted with him before, and that guy had such a workload, and every time he saw me, he had a smile on his face. And every time he saw me, he shook my hand and said hi. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're waiting, keep your mouth shut.
Mm.
You're not that damn special.
No.
If the main actor can walk around and have 1,000 tons on his shoulder and say hi to you every day, that means you can keep your mouth shut and wait for them to tell you what to do.
Yeah, man.
So patience. Number 8 is patience.
Number
Have
8 is patience. Just enjoy the experience, man. Just enjoy the experience.
For me, it's Disney World, man.
Yeah, man. And number 7, take a book. Because in case they take your phone from you, like they did to us, you're going to have something there. Because you can only tell so many stories to people, right?
Yeah.
You can only tell so many stories. And for the most part, you're just going to want to read something.
And that's the thing is, like, if they call silence on set, you're not even allowed to have a heartbeat. Everything has to be silent. But you can read a book.
Read a book.
You're not allowed to chat with the person sitting next to you.
No.
Take a book on set. Read. Comic book. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
Enrich your
Book.
brain, man.
Enrich.
Or
your brain.
write.
Or write. Or take a notebook and write. That's also good.
Number
That's also
7.
good. That was
Where
number
we at?
7. 6.
Number 6?
Yes, sir.
I'm lost.
Number 6. 6 is the number that comes before 7.
All right.
And
I'll
after
take one
5.
of Did I already talk about patience?
No.
Did I already talk about kindness?
Yes.
Keep your energy up. Did I already talk about that?
No.
Okay, so you're spending a lot of time by yourself. Maybe you're on your phone. If they take your phone away, maybe you have a book. maybe you're around people, but when they call silence on the set, you keep your mouth shut. Because imagine being the main actor, and this has happened when I've acted, where you're trying to emote so hard, and then you hear a ringtone in the background, and you explode. And then we looked that up on YouTube. We looked that up on YouTube where this guy has a breakdown. Imagine exposing the deepest depths of your emotions and trying to portray this part, and then the message comes in on some asshole who's sitting on the sidelines. I think it's totally acceptable when I see like Christian Bale have a meltdown.
Or Tom Cruise.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
I'm totally with him. So, if you're on set, keep your mouth shut, and
In a nice way.
Yeah, in a nice way. Like, keep your smile up, but keep your energy up as well. When you're waiting, it's easy to get sleepy and droopy. So my tip is learn how to keep your energy right at the tip of your tongue. You have to be ready for action.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from just living the excitement that you're there.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, a lot of people want to be there, but they're not. So when you're there, take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few people have a meltdown on set where they got really mad that they didn't get their breakfast on time, and they were excused from the set. That you can go home. We don't need that type of energy here.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Michelle Kuo writes in, I did some extra work for shows filmed in New York City, and it involved a lot of waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
Number one fantasy, number one fact that's going to dispel your fantasy is that you're going to be waiting.
Yeah.
So my tip is keep your energy up.
Yeah. I think always, for me, it always helps to kind of think about the bigger picture and think about what you're participating in, what you're doing in. Because believe me, when I was on the set of Suicide Squad, for the most part, there were moments where I was just like, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I am not doing anything.
I'm not used to being up at this time.
I'm not used to being up at this time. And I have to stay here until 6 a.m. having gotten there at 5 p.m. the previous day. But it was just like, hey man, I'm in a freaking movie about a comic book. Well, I'm not in the movie, but I'm helping make this movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
Because by the way, just so people know, stand-ins don't get any credit.
No credit
anywhere. It's like you were never there. You don't appear in the credits of the film. You don't appear in the film. But you were there. I've had a lot of people ask me like, yo, I saw Suicide Squad. I didn't see you. And I'm like, I already told you. I was standing.
Stand-ins get no credits.
Stand-ins get no credits. But you were there, man. You were there. And you saw the magic happen. HB, before we get to our next point number 5, I needed to shout this movie out because I think we just found out about this movie.
Oh, yes.
As we were doing the research.
Yes.
This movie seems incredible. So everyone needs to check it out.
I'm watching this tonight.
This movie is called...
Somehow I missed it.
Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus.
Crocosaurus, man.
This is an incredible movie. It is the sequel to the 2009 film Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. And it is the second installment in the Mega Shark series of films. Okay? This is like amazing. And you know who stars in this movie?
Tell me, please.
Jaleel White.
Oh, that guy is a superstar.
He's Steve Urkel, man. Superstar.
Steve Urkel.
Stefan
Urkel.
Stefan Urkel.
My bad.
If you guys haven't seen this movie, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, man, let me tell you what happens in Panama. You guys are never going to believe this. You guys are never, ever going to believe this. So basically, one of these terrible creatures lays eggs in the Panama Canal. All right? I forgot which one of them. I think they both lay eggs.
Dude, they're just dropping huevos everywhere.
They're whopping huevos. They're whopping huevos, man. So, check it out. So, somebody laid eggs in the Panama Canal, right? So then Mega Shark and Crocosaurus, they're like, holy crap. Those eggs are there. I got to protect them. They might be my kids. I don't know. I'm waiting for the parental test to arrive. But I got to go there anyways, man. So these two guys, or girls.
Who are they? Their names again?
Mega Shark and Crocosaurus.
Crocosaurus. I love it.
They go to the Panama Canal. Man, they go to the Panama Canal just as the submarine USS Argonaut is there to try and receive the crocodile eggs. We just got this in from the research department. Crocosaurus laid eggs in the Panama Canal, by the way.
Crocosaurus.
Crocosaurus.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you, Franz.
Franz. Thanks for the heads up.
Thanks for the
You
heads
did that
up.
important research on Crocosaurus.
So they go right because Mega Shark's like, I'm gonna eat these eggs, but Crocosaurus is like, no wait. So then these guys are fighting each other in the Panama Canal. All right, they're fighting each other in the Panama Canal while they're being attacked by the U.S. Navy.
The U.S. Navy fucks everything up.
Jesus Christ. Then a tidal wave happens and it destroys the Panama Canal.
I can't believe I haven't seen this movie before.
No, me neither. No. So this is a movie that you have to watch.
I'm watching it tonight.
Mega
And
Shark
next
versus
week
Crocosaurus.
on the weekly RapScallions weekly wrap up, we're going to give our opinions of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the movie?
Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus.
Crocosaurus. I love it.
Destroyed the Panama Canal.
I love it.
So you guys need to check this out. This is a serious movie. Serious things.
All right. Do you have a number 5 tip of being on set? In case you want to pass.
Number 5 tip on being on set. I'll get one. My number 5 tip about being on set, HB. It's very important to have a number 5 tip.
Yes.
Because if you don't have it, then you can't get to
Number
4.
5 tips are the most
They're
important.
the most important. And that one is make use of the craft services.
You're a goddamn genius, Joe.
Make use of the craft services. Because sometimes you're just sitting around, man, and after you've told all your tales, after you've read all your books, you got to get some food in you to keep your energy up. As HB said, it's very important. So you got to go drink some coffee, eat some dark chocolate,
mentally,
have some nuts. You know, just
these nuts.
keep yourself active. And sometimes craft services is away from where you are. So it gives you a chance to
You gotta
have a little
walk. You gotta pace. You gotta get that blood moving.
That's right.
You don't want to stagnate.
You don't. So that's my number 5 tip. Make
Craft
use-
services.
Craft services.
And on set, the coffee is the consistency of motor oil. And you know what? You might think that's gross, but when your energy is dipping, you're gonna be like this.
Man, I drank so much coffee when I was on set for the Suicide Squad.
Totally insomnia state.
Yeah, man. And you got to keep your energy up. So you make use. Don't eat too many carbs, though.
No, carbs is bad. And in Panama, especially, they give you rice, spaghetti, starch on starch,
Yeah, starch on
and
starch
a
on
little
starch.
bit of a little bit of vegetables, a little,
Children's.
maybe some. Yeah. So my tip,
Number
moving
4.
right along,
Tip number 4.
and this is something that you should take to your day to day. Love what you do.
Love what you do. No doubt.
And this helps in
No
the
doubt.
waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting, like tip number 1 through number 10 is going to involve waiting.
Right.
You're going to spend a majority of your time waiting, and some negative thoughts might creep into your mind. He's like, and that's the problem, is that the human mind usually tends to swerve towards the negative when you don't know what's going on. So think positive. Love what you do. You have to think to yourself, every time I'm on set and people are like, oh, they have you waiting, and I tell them, I'm in my version of Disney World.
Yeah.
And people love when I say that.
Yeah.
I say, esto es mi Disney World. Yo estoy en Disney World. And people love that. And people love working with me because I have a smile on my face.
True story.
And you have to love what you do.
True story, man.
If you don't love what you do, quit.
Because sometimes people think like, man, you're in a movie, but you're not the lead. They be like, tú no eres el Brad Pitt de la película. But Brad Pitt's Brad Pitt.
I tell people I'm Brad Pitt's brother, Armando Pitt.
Armando Pitt. I got it.
Armpit.
Boom, boom.
Number 3, Joe.
Number 3. Before we get to number 3, though, I want to give a shout out to another movie, which is check this out. It's called Deliver Us from Evil.
What?
It is a South Korean action film.
How did I not know about this,
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah. Hey, we're learning a lot of new stuff today. Deliver Us from Evil.
Tell us more.
Okay, this movie was directed by Hong Won Chan, and it starts. I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Do not hold this against
You're
me.
obviously not saying I'm right, but just do it.
Hwang Jung Min, Lee Jung Jae, and Park Jung Min.
My role in the movie was Well Hung Man.
Oh, nice, man. That was you were also in this movie.
I was in that movie. My name was Wilhelm Mann.
I love it. Well, the way Panama fits into this movie is that at the end of the film, the characters move to Panama to live out their lives. So we don't know if the Panama they show at the end of the movie is actually Panama, because Panama only comes into the end of this film.
Anyone out there who's seen this movie, check it out. Let us know in the comments if you recognize any of the surroundings.
Deliver Us from Evil. It is a Korean.
I like Korean cinema, man. Those guys are good.
Yep, true story, man. I'm trying to see if there's. I think by looking at the poster, I believe that maybe we know one of the actors. This guy, but maybe not. No, I don't think so.
Most likely, he's a RapScallion. We have so many fans throughout the world.
Yeah,
we have people tuning in from Brazil, from Europe, from China.
Man, we have people asking us for millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. All right, give us your tip. What's your number? Where are we at?
Number 3.
Number 3.
My tip number 3 is, if you do get to keep your phone, put it on silent. HP already mentioned that.
Big. This is big. This is big.
Big.
As we go through the numbers, I'm thinking to myself, we should have planned this. But what he just said is big. Because if you're an extra and you always put your phone on silent, I guarantee you the time that you don't is when everyone else's phone is going off and the director's going to be angry.
That's right.
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
The time that you forget to put your phone on silent is the time that everyone is interrupting.
If you're lucky enough to keep your phone on you, keep it on silent. Keep it on silent and don't take pictures. Don't take pictures.
Yeah.
It's a no-no.
You kind of cut into my number 2.
Sorry. Let me retract that.
Let's make a number 2 and number 3.
Number
the
2
same
and number 3.
thing.
Yeah. Go.
Number 2 is being on set. How to be professional. Like, fortune favors the bold. So, I really wanted to go up to Robert De Niro. I really wanted to go up to Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
But, they know you're a fan.
Of course.
You're not the first person to go up to someone and tell them that you're very...
that you admire their work.
You admire your work. So, a simple hello.
That's right.
Be professional on set. There's a lot of clockwork going on. And it's very difficult to... It's called herding cats. You don't know what's going on. You gotta try and get everything going and moving forward. And so we're on number 2.
Number 2.
You're probably not going to get treated the way you think you should be treated, but you need to keep your mouth shut. If you enjoy the acting business, then being on set is something that you should be in love with.
Yeah, you should love it, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Don't complain, I think
Don't
is my
complain.
number 2.
Don't complain, man. Don't complain. And my number 1, I guess I get the number 1. I'm so lucky.
It's because you're a top star,
So
man.
lucky. I'm a top star. My number 1 would be get to know the people around you.
Oh, for sure.
If you see, just the person that's hurting you, because you're going to be hurted like cats.
You're going to be herded.
Get to know their names. Talk to them. Chat to them. If you see, the person holding the microphone, the boom, get to know their name. Get to know, if you have if it's possible for you to get to know people and see what they do and talk to them about what they do it. Because you'll learn something from them most likely.
Yes. That's an excellent tip, Joe.
Thanks, Doc. I think that's a beautiful thing when you get to know people.
Well, that's the thing is like when you go into a situation that's kind of new to you, asking people about what they do, and they're more than happy to tell you.
Yeah.
And then you made a friend.
Yeah.
And you know what? None of the films that I've been in has come through an agent. It's come through
Word of mouth.
knowing, the costume the guy who sews it's like the person you need to call is Henry.
Yeah.
You need to call Henry.
Yeah.
You need to call HB. That's how I get my parts.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Being kind, being listening, and asking people about their jobs, and
nobody wants to be on set with someone they don't like.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be on set with someone they don't like. So if you take that moment to be like, yo, hey, what's your name? Oh, yeah, what do you do? How long have you been doing this for? How many movies have you done? Ask questions.
It's very true.
Ask questions. People like being asked questions. Because people always think like, oh, the only important people in a movie are the people that are acting. No.
There's so many moving parts to making a movie. And being able to interact with people. Like one of the things that you read about, like people who live the longest are people who have good interactions with people around them. Like, do you say hi to your mailman? Like when you go on the set, you talk to the people who are dressing you. Like I had several layers of clothes, and they're like, "Oh, I think you're going to be uncomfortable." I was like, "No, it'll help me get in my character." And we had fun. I was putting the clothes on. They were sewing things up and giving me jewelry, and we were talking about it. And I told the people from costume, like, "This is how I see it." And I was like, "Oh, well, you know what? Let's put a ring on your finger," and that made a difference.
Yeah.
And that interaction is fulfilling. And every time you see them, you're like, you show them the ring, and you're like, "Hey."
Yeah.
So it can be something. It can be something fun. It can be something fulfilling.
Yeah, and plus you make new friends. And everyone wants to make friends, right?
Totally.
We're social beings, us humans. We don't live on an island. And especially if you're going to be on a set with someone for 12 hours, you're going to want to get to know them.
Yeah.
You are definitely going to want to.
You're going to spend a lot of time in a closed space with people that you never met before. So you're going to want to be agreeable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. HB, so that's our number one. If I can get to one movie that I haven't seen it yet, but I think everyone, if you're in Panama and you do have the chance to check it out, you should check it out. And this is the new, not so new anymore, but it's the film that they made for the IMAX at the Visitor Center in Miraflores. That's a definitely must check out. I haven't checked it out yet. Have you checked it out?
I saw it. We were actually invited to the screening.
Ah, that's right. You were, man, because Morgan Freeman came to town. So, I have a story. I got invited to an event. You were there too, weren't you? At the same party?
Yeah. Right.
I don't remember. We've been to so many parties together. It's incredible.
We're famous. We get invited to all this stuff. Morgan
Freeman was in town promoting this film where he did the voice work for it, because everybody knows that Morgan Freeman has a beautiful voice. So he did the film for the IMAX, and I remember going to this party and people were like, Morgan Freeman's gonna be there. I was like, oh snap, Morgan Freeman's gonna be there. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna roll up, be like, what's up, Morgan? How's it going? He's gonna be like, it's nice to meet you. I'll be like, yeah, it is. But then when I get there, they had him like sequestered.
They did.
And then I saw him through a glass door in the distance.
I get to say what's up.
And I was like, oh my God, that's Morgan Freeman. That was it. That was all I got to do. But if you haven't seen that film, go check it out.
I agree with Joe 100%. A lot of maybe half of the people watching are Zonians, and we have been misrepresented on some of the films and some of the museum pieces that are shown. But when I watched the IMAX movie, it was very balanced. It wasn't nationalistic. That made me feel conflicted. I had a tear in my eye. It showed the French endeavor. It showed the American endeavor. It showed the Panamanian endeavor. And man, if you get a chance, and it's not open yet, but we're still in COVID times. But if you get a chance to go to the IMAX theater at the Miraflores Locks,
and they built this theater. It's a brand new theater, brand new for your experience. Sorry, carry on.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love Panama. I love the United States. I love the Canal Zone, and I shed a tear when I watched it. I was very moved by it.
I think definitely it's one of those things where when quality projects come out that do a proper representation of our history, You definitely have to check it out. You definitely have to go and enjoy it.
Michelle Kuo chimes in saying that IMAX movie is awesome. I was really impressed. I was also very impressed. And one of the things that one of our goals here on RapScallions is getting the history down and recorded because time is passing by. You know?
Hey, it'll be a moment in time. And I think especially for Panama. Panama's a country that has so many people that transition through here, right? People come through, they live here for a bit, they leave, and we absorb all of these different cultures, all of these different beliefs, all these different things. It's easy to lose who you are in that movement, in that growth. So you have to remember all of this. You know, you have to be able to keep in mind everything that's come before. You can't just kind of adopt foreign things and be like, this is mine.
Yeah.
You know? So that's one of the things that we try to do. One of the things that we can't try to keep pushing is just, let's remember who we are, what made us who we are right now, and how we can use this information to continue our forward growth, right?
That's 100% right. One of our goals here on RapScallions is to get history recorded on video. People can search it. People can ask us questions. We can do videos about it. Because, as I mentioned before, when we did the Causa Justa, the kids that went with the parents who were actors, at the end of the movie, they came out and they're like, I can't believe this happened in Panama.
Yep.
We're losing information. We're losing history. And as you guys out there know, there's a lot of canals on history that's being lost. So let us know your ideas. Let us know what you want to hear about. I think next week we're going to do Panama Papers. Carina Manning has already said that she would like to see something like that. On the books, we have the history of the
Canal Zone Police.
Canal Zone Police.
For sure.
We've been scanning documents, but now Joe and I have to read them and absorb it.
Absorb them and transmit them.
That's going to be there in the future.
Yeah.
And we're open. We want to make sure that we're creating content that you guys want to see and want to participate in. So let us know.
For sure. And just to back up, so who was it that Michelle, she saw the film at the IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Just so you guys know, this is the second biggest IMAX screen in the world.
I did not know that.
Now you know.
Now I know.
So you have to check it. And it's here in Panama.
It's here in Panama. I want to watch Dune. Dune's the movie Dune by Denis Villeneuve.
Dune
is coming out.
Dune. That's
Dune.
Dune. That movie looks like it's gonna be cool, man. I want to see that movie. Have you seen the trailer for the next Matrix movie? John Wick takes on the Matrix.
I haven't.
No?
Let's watch it. No, we're gonna watch it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any suggestions, if you like what we're doing, go to PanamaRP.com. Donate $1, $2, $3. That helps us out because we have regular jobs. This is a pastime, but it's very important for us that we record in an enjoyable way the history of Panama.
True that, man. And I think, you know, a lot of the stuff you can research, a lot of the stuff you can look. We enjoy doing this. We enjoy talking about these things. We learn a lot as we do the research from these things. And it's just about getting that knowledge, and we love talking about this knowledge with you guys. So, yeah, man, stick with us. Enjoy us.
And we want to make sure that you feel comfortable reaching out to us. Let us know what you want to hear about. There's maybe a story that you heard from your grandpappy.
We'll
grandpappies.
Grandpappies tell the best stories.
Yeah, we'll look it up. We'll research it. We'll do a show about it.
Hey, if your grandpappy told you a story, your grande papi.
Grande papi.
If your grandpappy told you a story about a mega shark fighting a crocosaurus at the Panama Canal,
exactly.
We'll research
Maybe
it.
It was a true story. Maybe it was a
it.
documentary.
Maybe. And we'll research it and let you know.
There's so many stories in Panama. There was an emerald mine in Azuero that no one's talking about. That history is being lost. Everything that Joe and I talk about, one of his professors is one of the greatest historians in Panama. We can tap into that type of information, but we need your participation, and we'll make it happen.
We will.
That's what we want to do.
Promise you.
Joe, give us words of wisdom, baby.
Man, I don't know what else to say, man. I think we said so many wonderful wisdom things, but I just gotta say this, I guess. Hey, man. Panama's growing. It's important that we hang on to what makes us who we are. The Panamanian film industry is growing. So many films are coming into Panama. So many people are coming into Panama to work on these amazing projects. And it is important that we keep this going, but it is also important that we use this to continue to grow ourselves, to grow our culture, to grow our history, to grow who we are. So, my ask for you is that you remember who you are and that you continue to grow as an individual, as a human being, and as someone who is kind and gives back to those around you. Because ultimately, that's what we leave, right? What we give to the people that we love. So keep loving yourselves and keep loving your friends and keep loving your family.
Man, that was beautiful.
Damn.
This guy. This is my favorite part of the show is listening to him come up with these inspirational moments.
Yes.
And you know what? Just to top it off, when you're on set and when you're in life, make your first choice be a choice of kindness. That's RapScallions for this Sunday. Remember, every Sunday at 3 p.m., you can find all our social media links at PanamaRP.com. If you decide to skip a coffee one day in your life and you want to put those $5 towards the RapScallions, PanamaRP.com. We got several buttons right at the top of the page. Click that button. Send us $5. Send us $10. Send us $15. It all helps. Lots of research goes in, and we want to hear from you. Gabe Bacot says, I'm your Huckleberry. You're damn right, Gabe.
Oh.
We're recording history here, and we love to have you guys with us.
That's right.
Every Sunday, 3 p.m. Thank you guys for tuning
in. Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panama, bella ciudad. Ay, mi Panamá. Bienvenidos a Panama. 15 August 1519, the beginning of a dream. It is important to know this date because it's the day that we celebrate. Pedro Arias Davila received from the King of España official doctrine for the fealty to be named Panama City, Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panama, bella ciudad, bella mi Panama. Bienvenidos a Panama. A fishing village it was formerly, right upon the coast of the sea. Cathedral tower built up toward the sky. You can hear that bell toll far and wide. At this time within the nation, there was a very small population. Only 100 people or so. First European settlement on Pacific coast. Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panama, bella ciudad, ay mi Panama. Bienvenidos a Panama. The Camino Real it paved the way, and in this isthmus it had to stay all the way to Nombre de Dios. If you go now, you can hear them ghosts. Whoa! Riches came up out of Peru. Many ship and the pirates knew all the pearls, silver and gold. Panama City was Pacific stronghold. Then they crossed Panama by mule. Tropical diseases was very cruel. Finally arrived to Atlantic coast, departing for Spain from Nombre de Dios. Panama City, Panama City. Welcome to Panama, bella ciudad, ay mi Panama. Bienvenidos a Panama. 15 August 1519, the beginning of a dream. It is important you know this date because it's the day that we celebrate. 15 August 1519, the beginning of a dream. It is important to know this date because this is the day that we celebrate. Panama City, Panama City.